things that come up, and praise God for being able to be here. God started working on my heart for this message today probably 2 months ago. Before I even knew that the subject of discipline was what I was going to be preaching on this month. Before I knew that I was going to be preaching this service, but I knew that God wanted me to do this message, and He just led me step by step as we went week by week, day by day, week by week, until we're here today. Many things took place, and as I look back even with the construction, Bob can attest, Israel can attest, and Nikki can too, as to the amount of work that we put in the back here to get this tank stand ready. It is unbelievable what we had to go through. And even the fact that the tank that we had upstairs sprung a leak. Now there was no reason for it to spring a leak, but it sprung a leak. And it made a mess. It was going over to the neighbor's yard, it was going back in Margaret's yard, just a big mess, and we couldn't let it go. And so we had to get it down, and we had to buy this tank. But anyhow, a lot of stuff. And as I was contemplating what God wanted me to share, I knew the subject, but I did not know the passage. I did not know how it was going to come together until just a little, about a week ago, God started bringing it together. But in the last week or 2 weeks, I have been over here basically every day, all day, working on this construction. And so if you know me, I'm the type of person, I don't like to do my messages a month ahead of time. I know Pastor Jim, from our Sunday church in Pennsylvania, he'll do his messages 3 months in advance. He'll plan them, he'll get the rough draft together, and as it gets closer, he starts to tweak it. I don't do that. I like my messages to be fresh. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. For me, that's what works. And so I kept on saying, okay, I go to church and work today. I can work on the message tomorrow. And tomorrow came, I'll go to church and work and do the message tomorrow. And so it kept getting pushed back all this week until yesterday. We were at the culmination, getting ready to pour the tank stand. We were here late Friday night. At 7 o'clock, we finished Friday night, working in the dark to get this thing ready to pour. It wasn't completely ready to pour anyhow. Bob had to come 6:30 yesterday morning and set stuff up so we could pour. We got here at 9. But I told Bob, I said, I can't do construction today. I have to work on this message. I have to. Because at that point I haven't done a whole lot to it. And so I went upstairs, took a table and chair upstairs, my Bible's upstairs, and Bob and everybody else down here working towards concrete, mixing concrete and stuff, and I would look every once in a while, and so God gave me some time. So I figured, okay, we're not starting service at 10 o'clock today, so I got some time this morning I can put into the study as well. See, this is my mind thinking ahead of time. And so last night, during the night, I woke up about 1:30 in the morning, and I knew I was getting sick. Bonnie had given me, well, it's not her fault. It's my fault. 2 days ago, I seen a cup of coffee sitting in the kitchen, and I thought it was mine. I drank it. Then I realized it wasn't mine, it was hers. So guess who is the fault for getting sick? Me. I drank her coffee. Anyhow, so I got sick in the middle of the night. I was soaking in the tub or in the shower, trying to get the body aches to go away. So went to sleep about 5 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock, the alarm goes off. I don't want to get up, but I had to, and so I thought, there's no way I can study. If I'm not awake, I can't study. So, did not study this morning either. But God has put this together. And I'm excited to see what God does with this message. Because for Satan to try to stop this in so many ways tells me that there's a reason why this is going to be preached today. And so, I kept praying as Pastor was doing the choruses, let me get up to preach, let me get up to preach. Because when I preach, and I'm starting to feel better even now, when I preach, I feel better even when I'm sick. That's amazing. It's amazing to me how God takes the simple act of sharing His Word and brings healing to my body as I share His Word. And so as we look at Scripture today, I'm not going to tell you where we're going yet. You're going to figure it out, or at least I'm going to try to help you figure it out. So you tell me where we're going. Now you won't know chapter and verse necessarily, but the book is what I'm looking for. And you'll understand that here in a moment. At the beginning of this month, the pastor said that what we wanted to do was to preach on 3 different topics, and mine is discipline. And so I've been preaching on discipline. If you were here on last time I preached on Wednesday night, you know I had the description, definitions of discipline. Excuse me, I got from the dictionary. Just going to run down through them again. The first one that they listed was punishment inflicted by way of correction or training. That's usually what we think of. Discipline, you did wrong, you get legs. Okay? The second definition is training to act in accordance with rules, such as a drill and military discipline. I went into detail with that on Wednesday. I'll do it again of my military history and the training that we went through, which is a lot of discipline. The third one was the rigor of training effect or training effect of experience, such as adversity, the harsh discipline of poverty. In other words, you're used to a certain way of life, in this case, and something happens. It can be sickness, it can be bankruptcy, whatever. But you lose everything, and all of a sudden, instead of living in a nice house with a nice car, you have nothing. You're living on the street. And it's happened to many people. That's a type of discipline, all right? Not something that we like. Fourth one is one I preached on Wednesday, ecclesiastical. The system of government regulating the practice of a church as distinguished from its doctrine. In other words, why we do what we do as a church. That's what I preached on Wednesday night. I told you Wednesday night there's a fifth one that I didn't tell you about, and that's what I'm going to preach on this morning. It is a branch of instruction or learning, the discipline of church life. That's where we're going this morning. That's the topic for this morning. And as I was contemplating doing this, I was thinking, okay, Lord, what passage of Scripture do you want me to use for this message? And it was about a week or so ago. I don't know if I was preaching, Pastor Richard, I don't remember. But they mentioned something, and God, the Holy Spirit just said, there's where you need to go. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this on. Now, don't laugh. I'm going to turn this on, and I want you to see if you can tell me what book of the Bible we're going to. Let me see if I can get it up here higher so everybody can see it. This is part of a series. It's called Keyword Learning Systems, put out by Walk Through the Bible Ministries. And when I was going to Lancaster Bible College, one of our professors used these. There's one for every book of the Bible, both Old and New Testament. And it tells you the name of the book, and by looking at the picture, you can figure out the name of the book of the Bible, and you can figure out the main theme or themes of the Bible by looking at the picture. So this is where we're going this morning. Does anybody have a thought on where we may be going as far as the book of the Bible this morning? Does it make any sense to you at all? Huh? Let me give you a clue. What's this man have in his hand? A weed, and what else? Huh? What are these? Onions. Okay, these are onions, and these are weeds. Now you see the weeds have sharp points on them? They're known as thistles. Alright? So, the man has thistles in one hand, he has onions in another hand. How many thistles does he have? How many onions does he have? Okay, so when you think of 2 thistles, 2 onions, what book of the Bible does that sound like? Second? Because there's 2. Second? Thessalonians. Yes. Second Thessalonians. That's where we're going. Second Thessalonians is where we're going in the Bible. If you want to turn there for this message. Second Thessalonians. As we look at the Bible, I'm going to leave this up because I'm going to refer to it from time to time. As we look at Second Thessalonians, as we look at even First Thessalonians, we need to understand Thessalonica was a very prominent city in its time. It was located along a highway, if you want to put it that way, what we would call a highway. It was a travel path of the people of the day that would be doing trade and so forth. And therefore, there was a lot of commerce, a lot of people going through this city. It was a very prominent city. It was, in fact, it also held another interesting fact is that they were allowed to self-govern themselves even under the Roman rule. They did not have Roman authorities there to govern them. They were allowed to govern themselves. I'm not sure the reason why, but it was so they had that freedom. Thessalonica was a very booming city. It was a prominent city. It was a good city to evangelize, because if you did evangelize, you would affect a lot of people that came through the city on a regular basis. Paul went to Thessalonica on his second missionary journey. He spent, if you read 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, you will see that it mentions about him being there 3 Sabbaths. So basically he was there about 3-4 weeks, and that was it. And in that period of time, he planted the church at Thessalonica. Now, isn't that amazing? To me, that is amazing. 3 weeks, and the man plants a church. And not just planting a church, but he planted a church that was thriving. Why do I say that? Because the government, the Thessalonica government, because the church was so successful, he was winning converts, that they were fearful of the people leaving the church that they had there and going to his church, and so they threw him out of the city. You can't go here, they said. We don't want you here. Leave. So he left and went somewhere else and started to work. But Paul wanted to go back to Thessalonica. And in fact, both letters, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, were written basically back to back. He wrote 1st Thessalonians to address some issues about the rapture, basically, and some other things as well. But then, shortly after that, what happened when they left Thessalonica, Paul went one way, and Timothy eventually went back to Thessalonica to see how they were going. Paul couldn't go back, but Timothy did go back. He came back with a report, a good report, to Paul saying that the church is doing great, even under persecution. Thessalonica, the church of Thessalonica was a persecuted church. And so Timothy came back with this report that they're doing great even under persecution. Now, do you understand that most churches do better under persecution than they do under peace, like we have now? It's like the people rise up and they show forth their true colors as a child of God when there's pressure being put on them. It's been that way throughout church history. It's that way today. The fastest growing churches in the world are those ones that are living in areas of persecution. But anyhow, Timothy came back with this report to Paul about the church doing so good, especially under persecution, and Paul was so excited about it. And so he wrote 1st Thessalonians, and then shortly after that, he got word that there were some issues going on, which we're going to address today, and so he wrote 2nd Thessalonians right after that. So we are looking at 2nd Thessalonians scriptures. Okay. As we look at the book of 2nd Thessalonians, let's drop down to chapter 1, verse 3. I'm just going to read 2 verses, and then I'm going to skip to chapter 2. In verse 3 it says, "We are bound to thank God always for you," Paul speaking, of course, "brethren, as it is meet, because that your faith groweth exceedingly, and the charity of every one of you all towards each other abounds." In other words, the love that they had for each other was just overflowing. When it talks about abound, it doesn't mean just it was good, but it was overflowing. It's like if you have a cup, and you pour coffee in a cup, and the cup starts to overflow. That's what he's talking about here. Your love abounds towards each other. And then in verse 4 it says, "So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of God for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations." Paul is saying here that he went around bragging to other churches about the faith so excited about what God was doing through them, even because of the persecution. We need to understand that when persecution comes, when pressure comes, it tests our faith, absolutely. If you have ever been there, if you have ever had a situation where some unwanted situation comes upon you, you know it tests you in your walk with God. It tests you, but what we also need to know that persecution also reveals our faith. It brings out of us what is within. I said it before. If you wanna get orange juice, don't squeeze a tomato. When you squeeze a tomato, you get tomato juice. It's as simple as that. Whatever's inside, when you squeeze it, will come out, and that's true of us. Whatever's within us, when we are under pressure, will come out. If it's godly or if it's not, it will come out. Persecution also causes faith to grow, as we talked about earlier. The fastest growing churches throughout history, and even today, are those of persecution. I want to go now to chapter 2. We know that Thessalonica was a church that was under persecution. They were under persecution basically from the day they were born. The 3 weeks that Paul spent there, when he planted the church, they were under persecution right from the get-go. And the persecution continued. Now what happened is, and we'll get into it here a little bit, but what happened is that Paul left Thessalonica. He was thrown out of Thessalonica. It was not he went left on his own accord. They threw him out. He was not allowed to be back in. And so the church in Thessalonica wanted Paul back again, and he wanted to be there, but he could not. And so in his absence, some other teachers, if you want to call it that, pastors, whatever you want to call them, came into the church and started to share their interpretation of what Scripture is and what they should do. And because Paul wasn't there, they would say, well, you know, if Paul truly was who you need to be, he would be back. He would have come back. He wouldn't leave you. He would be back again. And they used every advantage, and Satan will do that, he used every advantage to try to convince us of something that is not true. And so we see that the church of Thessalonica was a growing church, a fast-growing church, a very fast-growing church of both Jews and Gentiles. But yet, because of the false teachings, they were starting to go astray in some areas. And this bothered Paul, and it needed to be corrected. And so Paul wrote Second Thessalonians in respect to especially two major problems that were going on in the church. And so we're going to look at the first one here in Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Goes on and says, "Now I beseech you, brethren," and again, please understand he's talking to the brothers in Christ. He's not talking to the unsaved people. He's talking to the people who heard the gospel, who believed the gospel, who received the gospel, who accepted Jesus Christ as Savior, and were walking in their faith, even under persecution. The reason I'm drinking this Coke, by the way, helps to settle my stomach. Anyhow, it says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand." This was the first problem that we had. The false teachers started coming into the church. And they started to share with the church, guess what? The day of the Lord is at hand. The rapture took place. And you missed it. You missed it. You were taught falsely. Why do I say this? Look at all the persecution you're under. And they were under a lot of persecution. Look at all this persecution you're under. All the pressures that are coming upon you. If you would have been a part of the church, you would be going with the rapture. but you missed it. And I don't know about you, but for most people, if someone keeps hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering something into your mind over and over and over and over, if you do not get correct training in that area soon, you will eventually succumb to what you're saying. They talk about this when people are kidnapped. And there's a name for it. Guess you know what it is? I can't remember what it is. Where the person's kidnapped starts to side with the kidnappers. They start to build a bond with those who kidnap them, to the point that they don't want to leave them. Why is that happening? You say, that's crazy. Why would that ever happen? It's because they're there and keep hearing it over and over and over and over. They lose touch with reality. And they become connected emotionally with their kidnappers. It's a strange phenomenon, but it takes place. And so, as we look at this church in Thessalonica, we could condemn them, we could criticize them, but the problem was, Paul wasn't there. Paul was not there to set these things right. And all they were hearing was these false teachers coming at them again and again and again. And as we look at this, it says, in verse 2, that you be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, which is talking about people coming with prophetic utterances, not by words such as the teaching of these people, nor by letter as from us. They wrote up letters, gave to the church, and said, this is from Paul. Paul wasn't there to say, no, it's not for me. They could give those people anything, say, this is from Paul, and how are they going to prove it one way or the other? You've got to remember, Paul wasn't allowed back there. And so they were taking these people at word that what they were saying is true. Let me take a break here to just give you a commercial of what I'm really getting at this message. It is your responsibility, what you have in your lap there, it is your responsibility to read it yourself. It is your responsibility to understand it yourself. If all you ever do is listen to what this man up here says, and that's how you grow, you're going to be a starving child of God. You need to be in God's Word yourself. Monday through Saturday, you need to be in God's Word yourself, reading it, studying it. And if you got questions, yes, you can ask him, you can ask somebody else. It does not matter. But you need to be studying it yourself. Don't just take what's up here as 100%. I make mistakes. I say stuff in a way that I think is very plain and comes out understandable. But what you're hearing is not what I'm saying. It happens. Pastor, it happens with pastor. We are not perfect up here. The only thing that's perfect is what you got in your lap. You need to be studying God's Word yourself. And so these people were listening to these teachers that were coming in, and they were handing them non-truths. They were telling them non-truths. And they had no way to figure out on their own what to do. Verse 3 goes on to say, let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come. He's talking about the day of the Lord. Okay? For that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. What are they talking about here? They're talking about end times. They're talking about Revelation. They're saying that the day of the Lord will not come until the falling away takes place, till the man of perdition takes place. The man that is the Antichrist comes to light. Now, throughout history, there have been a number of people who the church has identified as the Antichrist, and none of them yet. And there's different reasons for that. We won't get into that because that's not the purpose of the message. But the problem is that Paul was telling this church, you didn't miss it. It did not happen yet. Because the man of sin, the perdition, did not arrive yet. He wasn't revealed yet. If the day of the Lord were already taking place, you would see these events taking place, and they're not taking place, and therefore, you did not miss it. If we look at this picture here, we see that the gardener has plucked them out of the ground. The firm foundation they had in Paul's teaching, doctrinal issues, scriptural issues, they walked in those. They grew in those. They thrived in those. As I said, this church was a booming church. It was growing very, very fast. But because they did not have deep roots, they were easily plucked out as a sponge did. And they started following non-truths. They started believing non-truths, or at least questioning what they thought was true. And that's why you see the doubt on their eyes, and they're fearful. What's happening here? And they're concerned. They need answers. They need answers. You and me, each one of us, God's children, have a responsibility to dig our plant our roots deep in the Word of God. If all we ever do is have a superficial relationship with God, we'll be plucked out. Not if you're a child of God, you don't pluck out his hand. But they plucked out as walking and going down the way very easily when things come your way, problems come your way. I was at the house there. We had a couple different trees that decided not to want to thrive. One was a little Portugal tree. This trunk of this tree was only this big around. It wasn't that big a stump. And so I figured I'm going to dig it out. I cut it off. And I had it not about that high above the ground yet. And I thought, I'm going to dig this thing out. And I started digging and digging. I found roots going around, and so I sawed through them. And another thing, it was in an area, I only had 3 foot wide by 3 foot deep to work in, because there was walls around it. It was kind of a little awkward. So I didn't have a large area to work in. But anyhow, digging, cut these roots off, try to move this stump. It wouldn't even move. Would not even move. So I dig deeper, and I find some more roots, and I cut them off, and try to move. Still wouldn't move. I had this hole. Now I'm talking, it's not a big tree stump. I had this hole 2 feet deep. So I finally found a root that went straight down into the ground. It didn't go out at all. It went straight down into the ground. And that was the root that was holding me. And it was not until I got down there and got underneath the root ball completely and was able to cut that root that stump came out. What I'm trying to say is, our roots need to go deep, straight down, not just out. Yes, they'll go out. They'll go out. If they don't go down, they're going to be easily rooted. Just like the farmer easily pluck these thistles and onions out, we will be plucked out. And so, as we look at this church again, in verse 3 it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, a great apostasy against God, a great rebellion against God is what it's talking about. And that man of sin be revealed, talking about the Antichrist, the son of perdition. Verse 4. Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, setteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. What Paul is saying here, and what the Bible teaches us is, there will be a man that rises to power. You won't know, probably you won't know a whole lot about this person until it takes place. But all of a sudden, this man from somewhere in the world is going to rise in prominence suddenly. And the world's going to recognize him and see him. And that's when the end times are going to start. There's a lot of stuff that goes along with this. But what he's saying here, what Paul is saying here is that none of this stuff is taking place yet. None of this stuff is taking place yet. So rest in the fact that the day of the Lord has not come yet. The day of the Lord has not come yet. It will come. But it's not yet. You have not been left behind. And so, we see here in verse 5 it goes on to say, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I I told you these things. Paul taught them all about this before, when he was in Thessalonica. He had taught them all this stuff. And why I'm harping on this is the fact that we can learn something, we can be taught something,